Welcome back, everybody, to Ein Sof Learning. I'm really excited to dive into today's class, especially as we're going to explore something really profound in this week's Parshat Shemot. There's so much happening. But in the world of Kabbalah, we can uncover deeper layers that can help us understand our own lives in a more spiritual way. One of the things that's highlighted in this week's parasha is the concept of or, light. And not just any light, but how or works when it's measured and controlled. Or is the divine presence. But when it comes into our world, it needs to be measured so that way we can handle it. So let's talk about how that's done and what that means. The parasha opens with the following words. Ele Shemot b'nei Israel. And these are the names of the children of Israel. That's Exodus chapter 1, verse 1. On the surface, this is just a simple list of names. But each of these names carry deep significance, and they show how the light of Hashem is revealed in the physical world. So let's introduce the concept of Kav HaMidah, the line of measurement. What's this mean? Simply, this is the way light comes into our world in a measured and controlled way. Imagine you had a cup which can hold an infinite amount of water. It would be impossible to drink from. But when that water is given out in a measured and controlled way, then you can actually use it. That's what Kav HaMidah means. The light from Ein Sof is limitless, but we can only receive it in specific amounts that are manageable for us. It's like there's this endless amount of light coming, but when we put it in the format of Kav HaMidah, a measured amount of light, then we can actually relate to it. The light is all around us. It's not absent. It's always here. But if it were to be revealed in its full intensity, it would reveal us. Therefore, the Kav HaMidah ensures that the light of Hashem is revealed little by little, which we experience through the Sefirot, the way that the divine light really comes into the world. Now let's talk a little bit about Gevurah. Gevurah literally means restraint, restriction. And we might think of it as a bad thing. But in reality, it's Gevurah that allows the or to come into this world in the right way. Just like a parent who tells their child no in order to protect them, Gevurah restricts the or so that we can handle it. Without Gevurah, the or would come in such a way that we would be overwhelmed and we wouldn't be able to use it. Gevurah is the force that says, let's flow down this flow of light so that it can come down in the right measure and at the right time. In this week's parasha, we see that the people of Israel go down to Mitzrayim, a place of spiritual darkness. But this darkness is also a form of Gevurah. It's not just about punishment. It's about setting the stage for where you can become your full potential. It's through Mitzrayim that the children of Israel are then able to merit true freedom. Speaking of darkness, this is a very important concept today. Because in the world of Kabbalah, darkness doesn't mean that the light is absent. It's just concealed so that way we can grow. It's like planting a seed in the ground. It becomes concealed under the ground and it grows before it breaks out into the light. That's exactly what's happening with the children of Israel. They're going down to the world of Egypt, but it is this concealment that prepares them for the redemption. It's the same way in all of our lives. When we're going through hard times, it might seem like the light is gone, but really it's just concealed, waiting for the right moment to become revealed. When we observe our own struggles, we will recognize that those were the opportunities that allowed us to grow spiritually. Now let's make it practical. Torah and mitzvot. It's not just about laws, but rather it is a tool. The mitzvot, the commandments, the tefillin, the Shabbat, are a tool to draw down the light of Ein Sof in a measured way. For example, when you build a sukkah, we're following a commandment, but it has a certain rules. It has to be a certain minimum size, or it cannot be a certain maximum size, or whatever it is. You have to follow the rules. You can't just have 2 walls. You need 2.5 walls. It is when we follow the mitzvot with their specific rules that we are then able to receive this light in a meaningful way. Similarly, tefillin has specific dimensions. For example, they're square. Every commandment is a way of engaging with the light in a measured way, like a vessel that contains an amount of light in a way that we can relate to it. This is the exact reason why we have mitzvot. Because when we perform them, we're not just checking things off a list. We're opening ourselves up to receive the light in a controlled way through the right channels. And over time, this light builds us up spiritually. It helps us grow spiritually. Now, to wrap up, what we're seeing here is that the light is always present. It's just a matter of how it's measured and how we receive it. In Parashat Shemot, the journey of the Bnei Israel is the journey from concealment into revelation. They start in a place of choshech, darkness. But that darkness is part of the process of redemption. In our own lives, when we go through periods of difficulty or confusion, we have to remember that the or is still there. It's just measured and concealed for the moment. And it is through the Torah and the mitzvot that we can then tap into this divine light, even from within this darkest time. Because even in the darkest space, God still stands. Now, let me leave you with some reflections. Think about a time in your own life when you faced a challenge or a moment of darkness. How did that darkness eventually lead you to growth? Number two, how did that light begin to shine again in your life after you left the darkness? And how can you connect to this light in a more intentional way through your own actions, learning, and spirituality? Because your homework for this week is to reflect. Personal reflection. You got to think about a difficult moment in your life. How did that darkness help you grow? Did you feel like there was a hidden light even when it felt like it was absent? And how can you bring more light into your life right now? Is there something you can do? Something you can perform? A study you can engage in to receive more of this? Or take the time to really connect to these thoughts, and we'll discuss them in the next week's class. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.